Hi, it's Lee at Screencast Online, and just like I did with macOS Tahoe, I thought I'd just drop a quick video to run through a few things that have really stood out to me with iPadOS 26. Now, this is just an opinion piece. Our full deep dive for our Screencast Online members will be for the main release as normal, but check out my thoughts so far. So first of all, of course, we have the liquid glass design found on all of the operating systems this fall. And if I pause here, you can see the glass effect there around the sizing handles on the widgets and those minus signs there to delete the apps. The edit and done here in the corners have got that liquid glass effect. I am a fan, but there are some bits we'll see today that of course need a little bit of tidying up, which will come in time, I'm sure. Anyhow, when you press edit here and then customize, we have the option for clear icons down here. And like macOS Tahoe, they can be clear in dark mode as well as in light mode. And of course, you can set it to auto as well. I'm going to leave it at light clear for the rest of the video. That's the one that seems to have stood out to me most so far. And then of course, we have the ability to resize windows and have multiple windows on a screen, which may just get me using the iPad a whole lot more. You can see I'm moving this and resizing quite easily. If I tap to open another application here, I can resize that. I can move it around. Let's bring in a third app in for giggles. There's no real limit to the number of windows, but you will find your own limit to what you find is manageable. And if you don't want this feature at all, you can turn it off. Just come to Control Center here. And there's a multitasking control now added. So tap on this. And we're back to the regular full screen per app mode there. For those of you who've been waiting for Stage Manager to work properly, well, this works beautifully now as well. I'll long press on the multitasking control, and now I can select Stage Manager. And if I just move this along, we can see our stages here, and we can switch between them easily. And if we want, we can resize as we go. We can add more windows in. It's almost the same as using Stage Manager on macOS. So I'm a fan of this. This definitely works for me. I also like this cool way to get windows split to the left and right hand side of the screen. If you tap the window and then just flick your finger to the left, you can see it tiles to the left. And then the same, of course, to go to the right. And if I open another application here, I'll do the same. You can see it tiles nicely. And if you like the split view functionality where you have two windows side by side, you can still use this and then drag the handle in the center to resize to each side accordingly. These next features help make your iPad feel more like a Mac than ever. So in the top left-hand corner of your windows, we have the familiar traffic lights for closing, minimizing, and maximizing your window. You can still resize by clicking again or coming to a corner, of course, and resizing manually. And also, if we come back, you can either hover over or long press on the green one here, and we have the preset window arrangement. So over to the left. Then if I open another app, so news here, I can snap it to the right. I can hover over, move it to the left third perhaps, or the top half there. And if you have 4 apps on the screen, as I do here, you can hover over and then snap them all into 4 quadrants. So I love the window management now on iPadOS. It's exactly what was needed. Now, to really make the Mac users feel at home, each application has its own unique menu bar up here. Now, I love this because it's a really quick way of getting to the settings for an application. Before, you'd have to go into settings and then search for it, whereas now, we're straight in, quick as anything. And if you come to the other menus that are available here, their drop downs all appear with that glass effect, and it's now easier than ever to get to some of this functionality. It also shows the keyboard shortcuts for the commands, just like it does on macOS. Now, as said, each app has its own menu bar. So Safari, of course, lets us get into the Safari settings. I find myself coming here quite often to tweak things, so pleased that I've got more of a shortcut here. This almost feels like being on the Mac with the options and commands that we have available here as I move along. So these menus are definitely a win for me so far. Another advantage of this windowing system that I like is being able to have multiple windows open for a single application. So I've got a Pages file open here, and if I come up to the menu bar then find my way to new window. I'll just open up this document here, and we can see that there's one application but two windows open. Now, if I tap on the pages icon in the dock, that gets us into expose mode where I can see all of the windows for the app. Then I just need to tap to open the one that I want. And I can also do that by pinching in with all 5 fingers there. Now, if you want to get back to the desktop, you can swipe up from the bottom of the device, then tap anywhere to come back. But if you swipe up and then swipe up again, it removes the windows to the background and all you're left with is your desktop. And if you do that whilst you're on a different screen, so I'm on the 4th one along here, swipe up and swipe up again, it takes you back to the first screen in your desktop. There are a few major changes to file management and browsing that I really like as well. So in Files, we know that we can tap here, change to a list view. And also if we tap on these dots here, we can add or remove different columns to our view. And that's really useful. However, on macOS, I have mine in column view, and now we can do that on iPadOS as well, which I find myself much easier to navigate. Also, if we take this PDF file here, I can long press. And there are 2 things to note here. So 1, I can choose which application I want to open it with. And then 2, one of those apps is the preview app, and that's new to iPadOS 26. Now, of course, it's not quite as full featured as its Mac counterpart. However, as we come along here, there are a few features there. We can tap here to mark up. If I come down here to plus, some of our favorite markup utilities are still available, including the ability to add a loop there. So I think baby steps with preview at the moment, but I'm certainly excited to see that it's here. So on the whole, I think it's looking pretty good so far, and I'm excited to see how it's going to improve moving forward. There are lots of interface improvements that are needed. Some of the sidebars and menus look a little bit janky at this point, but that's to be expected. The multitasking though, it's long overdue, but it looks like it's landing well.